Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Monday, May 11th, 2026. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. Let's just fix this calendar for the very important data risk to see how many of them is here. And there you go. We add the medium ones as well for the beginning of the new trading week. So Chinese CPI beats the expectations of 0.9% and the previous number 1.2%. And PPI is the same situation here, so very good data from the Chinese economy. Burning permits in US has been published as well, but no data here. Now we enter the London session. We got the CPI in Denmark, Turkish retail sales at 9 o'clock. That's not quite important, but we got the existing home sales for today from the USA, scheduled for is at 4 o'clock. Then we have the speech from Bank of England Deputy Governor Woods, and then we have the speech from the German Buba Mauderer. At the end of the day, at 7 o'clock, we got 3-year note auction from the USA. So very light calendar for today. So without any further ado, let's switch to the charts, and we start with euro dollar. For our time frame chart of the euro dollar, she's showing us inability to break above the technical resistance. Look at this, 1.1786, 1.1797 are still the technical resistance for this market, and the US dollar bulls cannot break above this level so far. So the situation here is quite interesting, as the movement towards 1.1788 is faded a little bit lower back, almost inside of the range. Nevertheless, we're still trading above the demand zone with quite strong momentum. 54 points is positive momentum. Well, it's strong, so nevertheless, it's the beginning of the trading week. Let's see how this situation will unfold later on. Cable gapped down a little bit on the early morning trade, and right now is trading just below 1.36 level. So still this levels here, 1.3642, 1.3656 are technical resistance, remain the technical resistance, and 1.3882 and 1.3446 is still technical resistance. Momentum is almost neutral, 51 points only. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see movement to the upside. Looks like completed wave 5 to me. If we can just put our Elliott wave sequence, we got wave 1, wave 2, obviously somewhere here wave 3 is done, and maybe this is the ABC to the upside. So right now, choppy trading conditions because of the ABC to the downside might be coming to this market. US dollar versus the Japanese yen still trades a little bit higher than last week, nevertheless still below the 158.90 for the technical resistance and the last week high. Local low is located at 155.05, and the market keeps moving higher from the extremely oversold conditions. Bullish divergence between the lows on the chart and the lows on the momentum was the technical catalyst behind this movement to the upside. Nevertheless, there is still very strong technical resistance zone here, and only a breakout above 158 opens the road higher. Next target in that situation, 158.97, the middle of the old channel, as you remember. Yeah, the middle of the old channel. For now, it still looks a little bit bearish. Gold market. The gold market keeps moving higher. The wave 1 to the upside has been completed. Now the correction lower looks done as well for the wave 2 with a nice pin bar. However, the 4-hour time frame candle has not been completed just yet. Local low 4,647 into the neutral market conditions, which is obviously indicated by the level of 50 on the hour side. If there is any potential for the wave 3 to the upside, the time is now. and we should see movement to the upside quite soon if this is the correct scenario, bullish scenario to the upside. It's a little pity because the movement to the downside in form of the wave Y then was very short. Nevertheless, 5 waves to the upside doesn't actually mean we are entering the completely new bullish cycle, because there is something else here behind this movement. So movement to the downside, so we might see, for example, 5 waves to the upside, correction, 5 waves to the upside, that will be ABC zigzag, and then movement to the downside again. So right now it's all speculation, it's all about the current scenario, it's all probability, it's all waiting for the current assessment, waiting for the further assessment of the Elliott wave as they unfold. Now what we know is that we're testing the technical support into the neutral level, so there is potential to move higher on gold, at least in the short term. S&P 500 new all-time high. Let me just take a look. There you go, new all-time high, 7,401. New all-time high, and target is very close, only 100 points away from the current level. Nevertheless, the divergence is getting higher, stronger, and bigger. So right now the situation here looks quite interesting on the S&P 500. No indication except the technical bearish divergence of any sort of movement to the downside on the S&P 500. Let me just move this technical supports. Locally we got one here, and the second one would be then located roughly around here, 7,271, 7,319. all right. Crude oil, very interesting situation on the crude oil. Look, we gapped into the this, we moved inside of the gap, right? The last week gap, which has not been filled just yet, into the extremely oversold conditions. Right now momentum is 53 points, just a little above the level of 50, and we are testing the short-term blue trend line resistance as we broke above the level of 98.37. The next target in case of a breakout is located at 103.51, and it looks like it is a little bit more bullish than bearish. Nevertheless, the major target is still, the first one is this high here, 110.90, and obviously the big red rectangle of the supply zone. The tendency to move from the extremely overbought conditions towards the extremely oversold conditions is huge right now. So please notice this situation as well. It doesn't actually look like a trending market. Look at this. This looks like the oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, and so on. So it's not typical trending market. Very nice movement overnight in Bitcoin towards 82,447. We almost tested the last week high. Now we are moving a little bit lower, but the momentum still at 53 points. So as I said, there will be a lot of battle, a lot of a movement, a lot of a volatility inside of this zone between 80,600, 83,800. So that's roughly $3,000 supply zone here on the Bitcoin. Might get very unpredictable and very violent, right? So we can have the choppy trading conditions here as the bears and bulls are very interested of this zone, right? So all of them will be trying to get this zone in their favor. For now, bulls are trying, they keep trying. They started the new trading week on a higher note. We almost made a local high and a swing high. Nevertheless, only a sustainable breakout above 84,000, basically $84,000 opens the road higher, and that would be quite more bullish than it was for now. So please keep an eye on this supply zone. It's still relevant, it's still solid supply zone. We might see some choppy trading condition, up and down for the rest of the week even, right? Quite frankly, I don't know how much time it will take for the bulls or bears to win this situation. If we see typical breakout to the upside, strong and daily close above 84,000, bulls have won. and if we see movement to the downside, a sell-off or something like this with a daily candle close towards 74,000, so it's almost $10,000. Oh well, $8,000 away from here. It's definitely bullish, and we should expect more downside to come in that situation, right? So please keep an eye on the Bitcoin, keep an eye on the all of the other markets. It looks like we are going to have quite interesting week ahead. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.